Hello everyone, it's time for Good Week Israel, where we will give you ILTV's latest positive highlights. So get ready to smile, because coming up, Israeli archaeologists unearthed a 2,000-year-old Roman basilica in the coastal city of Ashkelon, the largest one ever found in Israel. We visit an Israeli agricultural farm in the Golan Heights. And can you adjust the burner on your stovetop during Yom Tov? Stay tuned to find out. A 2,000-year-old basilica and Odeon theater unveiled near Ashkelon, the exciting find being the latest in a series of discoveries at the site, soon to be adapted for visitors. ILTV's Chana Rifkin has the details.
A magnificent find at Israel's Tel Ashkelon National Park, a 2,000-year-old Roman basilica complex, the largest of its kind in the country, complete with an Odeon, or theater, and massive marble features. And with the completion of the development, conservation, and restoration work, including the display of sculptures and columns found at the site will be open to the public for visitation. Now, the basilica, a central public Roman building, was built in 3 parts, a central hall and 2 side halls, floors and walls all made of hundreds of tons of marble, and the whole massive structure was then covered by a roof, surrounded with rows of huge marble columns and sculptures. Finally, originally founded by Herod the Great, the basilica went through multiple renovations and restructurings, all documented in the ruins, including a renovation in the 2nd and 3rd century CE, before its eventual destruction in the year 363 at the hands of an earthquake. In the years since its fall, the building was later abandoned, transformed into an industrial area with several installations atop it, and even partially broken up by the Ottomans so that the marble could be used as paving stones.
All right, now ILTV went to Ankava Farm in the Golan, it's an Israeli agricultural farm, to visit their farm, butcher shop, and even to enjoy their chef's amazing food. Take a look.
Welcome to the Golan Heights. This is our pastures. On the left side, we can see the Syria. In the right side, Jordan, and the Yarmouk River that goes all the way to the Jordan River.
This is a family farm. In my farm, we grow cattle cows for meat, simmental cows, and we have olive tree. And we produce olive oil. We sell it all over the country. In Israel, we have very, very good professional farmers and very, very good agriculture. Before 5 years, we decided to not just to be a farmer and to sell all what we grow and to produce from the land and to get to the market. We decide to make another move, and we open a butcher shop. We grow our calves. We give the younger calves and the older cows the best condition when they're alive. Good food, good veterinary solution. We make farming from our soul, because we will not make money from agriculture. It's very hard work, and sometimes we don't have the rain, and we need to give the tree more water. We are good, and we try to learn from everybody.
So this is our olive tree. We have 3 different kinds of trees. The origin of them is from Greece and from Spain. What's special in that tree is that they are fit to mechanical harvest. So that's the way the fruit, the olive, goes really quick from the tree to the factory. Olive gonna grow from this nice blossom. This year it seems that we're gonna have a lot of fruit, and we are very happy with that.
So let me show you a little bit about the different cuts we have here in our butcher shop. We have mainly beef and lamb, from lamb chops, lamb shoulder, lamb spare ribs, the neck of the lamb. Over here we got all the meat cuts, which is the main thing we do here. Shoulder roast, the main shoulder, the ribeye cover, which goes mainly for smokers. We got all the steak cuts, the different cuts that goes for the grill. If it's the chuck eye, the beautiful ribeye you see here right in front of you. and also other small cuts that are less well known that we specialize in. Okay, now let me show you our dry age fridge. So this is a special fridge where we dry age our ribeye on the bone. We take our premium cuts of ribeye and we'll age them here from 2 weeks to up to a month and a half. That will soften the meat, that will intensify the flavor of the meat. Over here we've got our product freezer. We do all different kinds of product, obviously from our fresh meat, the chorizo and the merguez, which is a traditional Moroccan sausage. The different frozen cuts, if it's the lamb steak, ribeye that's already been frozen, something we're going to be trying later, which has to be sold frozen, which is the short ribs sliced very thinly. And this is just, you know, where we keep our meat. Okay, so we're going to be testing some of our sausages. I've got two nice sausages we prepared today. This is the chorizo. And over here, we told you before, you're going to be tasting the thinly sliced short ribs that we're going to grill. And here in the smoker, I've prepared for you 2 more cuts of meat. We've got a beautiful brisket, smoked, nice long smoke, and a nice cut of ribeye that's been smoking here for about 2 hours now. Before we start with the meat, I want to grill some vegetables. We're going to make a nice salad to go along with the meat because only meat is a little too heavy. Obviously using the olive oil from Ankava. This is the kornaiki. Just lightly oil the tomatoes. Just a pinch of salt and pepper. And they go straight on the grill. We start always with the open side down. Grilling tomatoes give them a nice caramelized flavor. We're going to start by putting the chorizo, it's a thicker sausage, on the grill, just like that, in one big batch. And we want to grill the sausages on a medium to low heat. We don't want them to go on a too high heat. We don't want them to explode. And the next thing we're going to throw on the grill is our nice little stripes of the short ribs. So all we season it with is a little bit of salt and pepper. It only takes like half a minute on each side. So while we're cooking the meat, we grilled some nice vegetables here. And we're going to make a nice grilled vegetable salad to go next to our meat. So we got eggplants, we got yellow peppers, we got onions, green chili pepper, again with these beautiful yellow peppers. Squeeze them out of the peel. They were smoked with the meat for quite a long time. They're soft and sweet. Again with the garlic cloves, we're just going to squeeze the garlic straight out of the peel. So beautiful, nice and soft. Nice and fresh. To finish up our salad, all we need to do is do a rough chop of all our vegetables, peppers, our lovely onions. Now the chili we want to chop a bit finer because we don't want to come across big chunks of it. And of course the eggplant. Our grilled tomatoes. So we got all our vegetables in with a nice lemon we picked. Just gonna squeeze it in. Of course, Ankava's olive oil. We mix it all together. Let this lemon juice sink into the vegetables. Olive oil. And just a dash of black pepper. Take this beautiful piece of ribeye out, lay it on the board, slices, and look inside, look how moist it is.
Chaim. Chai Am Israel.
Now, when discussing the differences between Shabbat and Yom Tov, the conversation goes quickly to cooking. Rabbi Elefant discussing the ins and outs of cooking on Yom Tov and whether you can adjust the burner on both gas and electric ranges.
When we speak about the halachic differences between Shabbos and Yom Tov, the most profound halachic difference is what's known as oichel nefesh. Oichel nefesh means that one is allowed to prepare food on Yom Tov and may not do so on Shabbos. So we know on Yom Tov you could cook and you could bake. On Shabbos, of course, you may not cook or bake. But when it comes to cooking or baking, there are many questions that come up, particularly in the world we live in putting up or putting down your fire. So in order to discuss this, we need to differentiate between different types of ovens. There's a gas oven and there's an electric oven. When we speak about a gas oven, the gas ovens that are manufactured now, when I say now, this is for quite a few years already, all have electronic ignition. So the old-fashioned ovens that we grew up with were there was a pilot light, and what you did when you turned on the oven was you really just having that fire from the pilot light coming out from your burner, transfer through gas through your burner, and if you were putting it on because you needed to cook on Shabbos or not on Shabbos, on Yom Tov, it was permissible. However, now that we have electronic ignition, so just like you can't turn on a light on Shabbos, on Yom Tov, and on Shabbos of course as well, but on Yom Tov, you can't turn on a light, you can't turn on any electric appliance, you can't turn on the fire on your gas range. So that is certainly prohibited. What about lowering the fire? So the halacha is as follows. If you want to lower the fire on your gas range because you don't want to be hot in the kitchen, you want to lower the fire on your gas range because you don't want to spend money on your gas bill, that isn't permitted. But if you want to lower the fire on your gas range because if you're going to keep the food, the pot, on the gas range and the fire is going to be too high and your food will burn, then you may lower the fire, because that's called oichel nefesh. You're doing it to prepare the food. But you're allowed to lower the fire, you may not extinguish the fire. However, if in your desire to lower the fire, what happened was it went out, the fire went out, but the gas is still burning, so that's already a situation of danger. And when it's a situation of danger, then you could shut it, because you don't want to have a gas leak, you could shut it all the way. If you have an old-fashioned gas range, which there are very few, I presume, left, that has a pilot light, then it may not be permissible, says Rav Moshe Feinstein, to lower a fire, because you could just put on a new fire at the proper height. But again, since that isn't the common situation, the halacha is You can never put on a fire on a gas range with electronic ignition. You may lower the fire on a gas range when you have food on the fire that may get burnt or ruined if you don't make the fire lower. Everything I discussed till now was on a gas range, but there are many people that have electronic stoves and electronic ovens. They are much, much more complicated because they're the same as I spoke a moment ago, like putting on your light and putting on an appliance. And we're not allowed to put on electricity on Shabbos and Yom Tov. So certainly you can't put on your electric oven. And even if you want to close your electric oven, really what happens when you want to lower your electric oven means that some coils will go out and other coils that give off more heat will go on. And that's like creating a fire, which we've established in this conversation may not be done even on Yom Tov.
And now, with coronavirus in Israel under practical control, Israeli schools returning to full normalcy. Students at the Interdisciplinary Center of IDC Herzliya celebrating their classroom homecoming.
After, a year of being on Zoom and being isolated from the rest of the world, it's just been so amazing to see everyone, to be back in person, to have this infrastructure and to have the ability to come together as the university that we are, as this community, as this family.
It's been nice seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time. A lot of people have been at home in their home country, and it's been a wonderful time just seeing everybody again.
Coming back to campus, it's incredible, actually see the teachers face to face, having proper discussions, seeing who we actually talk to, and just sitting on the grass and eating lunch together.
You can work on new projects, do meetings. Frontal people is so much more different than just on Zoom when people have their cameras off. You don't feel connected. And now, accept the fact that you don't have space in the parking lot. This is amazing.
Because there are lots of benefits in Zoom. In Zoom, we have the ability to watch a recording and we can make coffee while we're in class, but it still doesn't beat the in-person environment and the interaction that we get.
Business and entrepreneurship, it's a degree where it's very hands-on and it's a lot of group work and you have to work as a team, and to be able to meet together as a team and work together, it makes a very significant impact on the results and what you guys are able to do together.
So in my one course, which is called Biotech Entrepreneurship, which is an amazing course, it's very geared towards building a venture in the field of biotechnology. So now we actually can meet the professor in person. We can sit in breakout rooms, not physical breakout rooms, sit with them in person with our classmates. We can sit and we can plan and we can use the facilities of IDC. So being back has really helped that experience.
IDC is amazing, the campus is beautiful, our teachers are incredibly caring also, and now we get to know that much better.
So it's been an absolute blessing to be at this university and to have this ability to go back. All around the world, people are still studying online, and we are fortunate enough to have this experience.
And joining us now in the studio with more on the return to campus and the start of a new fall 2021 school semester, Jonathan Davis, Vice President of External Relations at the IDC Herzliya, and Jonathan Dar, Business and Entrepreneurship Student at the IDC Herzliya. Thank you both so much for being with me today. I'm really excited to speak with you guys. Jonathan, you're both Jonathans, but I'm going to start over this to Jonathan to my left. Who's coming back to campus and when?
Well, they all want to come back to campus because the quality of life in Israel is just so much better than in so many other places in the world right now. Because of Corona, because of other stuff, because of anti-Semitism. And when I see the students at IDC Herzliya throwing the frisbee on the grass outside the dorms and having a great time, they seem quite resilient. And they're in Israel at the right time. They got a chance to see maybe a new prime minister. They got a chance to see a new president. They got a chance to see a new head of the Mossad. A lot of action taking place. They were, during the air raid sirens, they got to go to a shelter 2 or 3 times. They have a lot more stuff on their CV as a result of their visit to Israel.
That's for sure. Jonathan, what about you? When did you get back?
I came back, I think, right when Passover started. Came back, and then I had spent time with the family, hung out. Corona was over and everything, so it was just wonderful to finally be able to spend time with my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles. I have a ton of family here, so it's just wonderful experience coming back.
That's excellent. All right, so I guess I should say, you know, with everything coronavirus related coming down and to a close, what has the school done to prepare for the influx of these students?
What we've done to prepare basically is we've had to make sure that those who need to be quarantined were quarantined. We went out and we vaccinated most of the students who wanted to be vaccinated through their insurance plan at IDC Herzliya.
What's the percentage, do you know?
It's about 90%.
Heck, wow.
90% of our students, maybe more, are vaccinated. They voted with their feet. And basically, now it's a matter of those people who have been vaccinated overseas. When they come back here, they need to do a serological test, so we refer them to the serological test. So we try and provide them with the excellence of beating bureaucracy and getting here in one piece. That's something that we take pride in. So we spend a lot of time with the various ministries here and with the various bureaucracies here to make it a tender, loving care landing in this country.
All right, were there any requirements that were placed on the student body to return that you maybe had to,
as a campus, we wanted to stay safe and everything, and so there was a requirement to have a green pass to be able to come onto campus. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that is now over with on June 1st.
It's now over.
Yeah, correct. But while things were still, kind of in a little bit of iffiness, and we just wanted to see everything's all right, that was a requirement at this time.
All right, so you didn't have, it doesn't sound like you had any troubles getting back here, though, for the most part.
No, I did not. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what would you say is the most attractive feature drawing people back to IDC's campus right now?
I think that what draws back a lot of people to campus is, number one, the fact that they would prefer to study frontally rather than by Zoom, and we're conducting classes now on campus. That's one reason. The second reason is definitely social. For the last 4 days, there has been blaring music outside of my office in Radzyner Square, where I can't even hear myself.
You make that sound bad.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the way things used to be. I wish I could be a student again.
So,
I'll second that as well. I was just on campus today, and Netta Barzilai, the Eurovision winner, she had a concert, and there was just a ton of people.
Oh, nice.
And if you were trying to work, I can understand them completely. A little bit hectic, but
she's distracting in a good way.
In the best way.
In a good way. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I want to make sure that everybody knows that they can learn more about IDC Herzliya and about the coming fall semester that begins this October after the holidays. You can learn more at rris.adc.ac.il. We'll put that in the graphic below. Jonathan, thank you so much.
To JD, say thank you to Aaron.
To JDs, that's right.
Right.
Thank you.
And that's all for today's Good Week Israel. I hope that we've helped you start your week with a smile. I'm Aaron Porras. See you next week.